am not a historian, but neither are you. So, how about we, the people, learn this stuff together? Welcome to US 101. And today we're going to be talking about a historic milestone. Is it ahistoric or anhistoric? I never really got that one. 100 years ago this month, on April 6th, to be more specific, the United States entered World War I, aka the Great War, aka the war to end all wars. Now, while this is an historic milestone in itself, it was brought even further to light because on April 6th of this month was the same day that Trump fired Tomahawk missiles into Syria. And when this happened, I saw a lot of people start to Facebook cry going, "Oh my God, it's happening! World War III is finally upon us, and he did it on the anniversary of World War I. We're all doomed." First of all, shut the up, dummy, okay? You're scaring the children. And secondly, I'm almost 100% positive that Trump didn't even know that April 6th was the 100th anniversary, so I doubt that that day had any part in the decision-making of him firing missiles into Syria. But I will admit, however, that it was a bit eerie that Trump would fire the missiles into Syria on that specific date. And it actually got me thinking about how America even got involved in World War I in the first place. Because a common misconception about people that don't know very much about World War I is that it was happening in Europe, and then America showed up, and we saved the day, and everything was fine after that. But it turns out in reality that's not the case, because it actually turns out that America never really wanted to be involved in World War I to begin with. So let me take you back to 1914. 1914. Okay, that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Anyways, when the war began in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson swore up and down from the very beginning that the United States would be completely neutral. It would not involve itself in the war whatsoever. He stayed in line with Washington's Proclamation of Neutrality from 1793, which states that America will not get involved in any European wars. And furthermore, much of the American public didn't think that we had a reason to go over there and fight. That is until 1915, when a ship called the Lusitania was sunk off the coast of Ireland by German U-boats, and over 100 Americans were killed in that attack. Now, once this news reached the United States, obviously public opinion about the Germans began to turn, and for that matter, President Woodrow Wilson himself was not happy about the attack, but it turns out that the German government actually apologized for that happening, and following that, Wilson stayed the course. He said, okay, this happened. It sucks, but we're not getting involved. We're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. You have to remember something about World War I. World War I was not a pretty war. I mean, no war is pretty, but it wasn't like, dreams of glory and romance and, the things that flowery war movies will show in like soft focus and stuff. World War I was gruesome as hell, okay? Because this war featured trench warfare. There was no man's land, the first uses of chemical warfare, the first uses of barbed wire in war, many, many other things that just made it super, super bloody. I mean, this war changed the game when it came to nations fighting against each other. So if this was an affair that the United States could stay away from, then by all means it was going to do so. But then in 1917 something happened. How do I describe it? How do I put this? You know when your sibling, when you guys are younger, just keeps poking at you and just keeps taunting you, and the whole time they're going, "What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it, huh? Do something. What are you gonna do about it?" And then you finally snap and you actually do something about it, and you end up hurting them way more than you thought you were going to. That's kind of what Germany did to the United States in 1917 via something known as the Zimmermann telegram. British codebreakers intercepted a message from German Foreign Minister Arthur Zimmermann, and he was writing this message to a German ambassador in Mexico. In the telegram, Zimmermann states that Germany is going to restart their unrestricted attacks on ships that enter war zone waters, regardless of whether they're neutral or not. If you're in the water, Germany is going to attack you, sink you, destroy you. Additionally, he also says that Mexico should side with Germany in the war if the United States actually does want to get involved. Then he makes these grand promises of if Mexico sides with Germany, they're going to get the land back that they lost in the Mexican-American War. They'll get financial support. Like, Germany was like, please come help us fight. And this telegram pretty much put everything into perspective for Woodrow Wilson, because he thought, okay, if Germany's going to just start attacking American ships anytime they sail overseas, who's to say that they won't decide to take it one step further and sail to the United States and start attacking American American cities. So what did Wilson decide to do? He decided to go ahead and leak this telegram, leak this message, the Zimmermann telegram, to the press. And on March 1st, 1917, the telegram appeared in newspapers across the country, and it riled up American spirits so much that every American man and boy was ready to grab a gun and a helmet and go fight the Germans. As for Wilson, a month later, which by the way at this point Germany had already attacked and destroyed even more U.S. merchant ships that had sailed to Europe, he went to Congress and he asked them to declare war on Germany, which they overwhelmingly did. 373 to 50 in the House of Representatives and 82 to 6 in the United States Senate. They were spoiling for a fight. And so we got involved. On April 6, 1917, America sent its first troops over to Europe to take part in World War I. And the war would end on November 11, 1918. And by that point, it is said that anywhere between 50,000 to nearly 120,000 American soldiers died in the war. And just an interesting little tidbit for you, a lot of those Americans that fought and died in World War I were actually spurred into action via the image of Uncle Sam pointing directly at them saying, "I want you for the U.S. Army." You guys all know this poster. This was actually introduced during World War I to help try and recruit potential troops for World War I. So here's what I'd like us to discuss for today's video. Do you think that the United States should have gotten involved in World War I? Should we have stayed the course and remained neutral, even though Germany was attacking U.S. merchant ships when they would sail over to Europe? I mean, what do you think would have happened to Europe if the United States decided to stay out of World War I? For that matter, how do you think that future wars would affect the United States' stance when it came to fighting? Would we have fought in World War II? Would we have fought in Korea? What would the ripple effect have been? And for that matter, if America didn't get involved in World War I, would Europe look and feel a lot different today than it does now? Let's discuss. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that, my fellow Americans, is it for this episode of US 101. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Really do appreciate it. And again, thanks to all of you that have been subscribing to the channel and commenting and liking and sharing the videos. Guys, I can't thank you enough. And I really enjoy having discussions and dialogues with you in the comment section. So please feel free to do so. You can just say hi in the comments if you want to. I'll probably say hi back. Make sure to follow US 101 on the Facebooks, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. All those links down below in the description box. And guys, I will see you next Tuesday for an all-new episode of US 101. Until then, we are all done. And yeah, I'm really hoping that there is no World War III, because if you look at how trilogies work, the third movie is usually the worst one. Got a feeling World War III would probably be the worst one. Anyway, I'll leave you with that one. Happy thoughts. Farewell, guys. I'll see you later.